In this video, I'm going to show you the non-medicated ways I was able to fix my sleep issues and insomnia. I'm going to go over 4 different stages of insomnia, from being sleep deprived to a walking zombie. I've had horrific insomnia basically my entire life. In high school, I was only getting 4 to 6 hours of sleep a night, and you can tell. I was super into weightlifting at the time, and I realized that the more sleep you get, the more you grow, because your growth hormone only activates in your deepest stage of sleep. I connected the dots and realized if I got more sleep, then my progress would skyrocket. I locked in. I did tons of research on how to cure insomnia. I used to need a bunch of medications to sleep, and now I don't need them. Look at the drastic difference in my appearance after only about 8 to 9 months of getting better sleep. The circles around my eyes are gone, my acne got better, and I felt incredible. My performance was the best it ever was. I was able to concentrate in class. I was adding 5 to 10 pounds on every lift each week. I felt like I was on a performance-enhancing drug. With no exaggeration, optimizing your sleep will improve every single aspect of your life. But before we can get into optimizing sleep, we first have to understand how sleep works. When you first fall asleep, you go into light sleep. Light sleep is basically just for you to transition into a deeper sleep. During this stage, your heart rate, brain activity, and breathing slow, and your body temperature drops. A little bit of rest and cellular repair happen in this stage as well, but just a tiny bit. You'll spend roughly half the night in light sleep. After you're done with light sleep, you'll transition into deep sleep. This is where you boost immune function, repair muscles, and increase your energy reserve for tomorrow. This should be about 16 to 33% of your total sleep. The next stage after deep sleep you enter is REM. Rapid eye movement, or REM, is when dreaming occurs. It plays a very important role in learning, memory, function, and helping your brain consolidate information. This should be 21 to 31% of your total sleep. Missing out on any of these stages of sleep will fuck you up. You might feel fatigued, lethargic, you might find it hard to concentrate. On top of that, if you're sore or hurt, it will slow down cellular repair. You miss out on brain and body growth, it just sucks. Get your sleep. There are a lot of downsides of lack of sleep, and that's why I recommend 7 to 10 hours of sleep. I personally work best off 8 hours of sleep, but for you it could be 7 or 10, you know? Don't just take what I said and be like, he said 8 hours. That's the amount of sleep I have to get each night. Everybody works different. Maybe you enter REM faster. Maybe you're just better at sleeping than I am, and that's good for you. It's a person-by-person case. But now that you know how sleep cycles work, let's find the issue and learn how to fix it. Stage 1 of insomnia. The teenager. Most teenagers I know have a shit sleeping schedule, and that makes me sad because they don't realize how much growth they're missing out on. A lot of my friends stay up late playing video games or just being on their phone. Even if it's a weekend or you don't have anything to do the next day, you should still sleep and wake up around the same time every day to establish a circadian rhythm. A circadian rhythm is just a fancy way of saying your body's internal clock. If it's out of whack, you may have energy being dispersed at inappropriate times, such as like at 12 p.m. getting exhausted or getting a burst of energy at 12 a.m. In order to fix your sleep schedule, choose a time you're willing to sleep and wake up every morning. For example, 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Okay, so I'm editing this video right now, and I didn't mention this, but it's more important to focus on when you wake up opposed to when you go to sleep. If your new bedtime is 10 p.m., it's gonna be really hard to fall asleep by then your first few nights. So you get in bed at 10, but you don't fall asleep until 12 a.m. Still wake up at 6 a.m. Set like 10 alarms if you have to. That will make the next day going to sleep at 10 p.m. 100 times easier. Just don't nap during the day. If you nap, you can mess it all up and it'll be a never-ending cycle, okay? That being said, back to the video. The first 2 nights of getting to sleep is gonna be hard, but I know you can do it. Try taking a hot shower around 2 hours before bed to change your body temperature and relax you. I also recommend buying a sleepy time tea. They won't knock you out, but they help relax you. They make you feel a bit drowsy. The first 2 nights or so, you can use melatonin, but I don't recommend using it every night. Melatonin is a hormone that your brain produces in response to darkness. It helps with the timing of your circadian rhythm. If you supplement it every day, then your body has a much harder time producing it naturally, and you'll have to rely on melatonin gummies forever. I know a guy who straight up just can't sleep without melatonin gummies, and if he doesn't have them, he's just fucked. Stage 2 of insomnia. Sleep deprived. This stage of insomnia is more common in adults. Maybe they've tried everything, you know? They've tried to establish a circadian rhythm by going to sleep at the same time every night. They've taken a hot shower. They've even drank sleepy time tea. But they just can't fall asleep, maybe even just stay asleep, you know? They go to sleep, wake up like 15 times at night. The first thing I always recommend if you don't have it is a blue light filter on all of your electronics. If you have a computer, download an app called f.lux. It turns down the blue screen at night. And for your phone, go into these settings and turn on the night shift. It turns off your blue screen at night as well. Try removing blue light 40 minutes before bed. Blue lights from screens fool the brain into thinking it's daytime, which of course means it makes it a lot more difficult for your body to produce melatonin. I also recommend taking 3 to 5 grams of glycine at night. The first time I took it, it knocked me out. Glycine is an amino acid. Research shows oral glycine elevates serotonin, reduces symptoms of insomnia, and improves sleep quality. But the biggest benefit for me is that some studies show that glycine may be able to help you slip back into a deeper stage of sleep after you wake up. Even now, I sometimes wake up at night, and when I go back to sleep, I fall immediately back into deep sleep or REM. Stage 3 of insomnia. Chronically sleep deprived. This is where shit starts to get real. You have tried every tip I gave in stage 2, yet you still can't sleep. If you've tried everything I've said in the past 2 stages, then it might be time for a sleep study. Call your doctor and get referred to one. This could also be a physical condition, such as sleep apnea. That's when breathing repeatedly starts and stops when you're asleep, causing you to jolt awake. It is more common in heavier people who are obese or just have massive necks. If it isn't anything physical like that, then it's mental. Anxiety and stress are the #1 enemy of getting good sleep. Don't self-medicate with alcohol. Alcohol is a sedative, and it will help you sleep, but you will get less REM and deep sleep. Instead, buy a supplement called ashwagandha. Now, ashwagandha got hyped like crazy like a year or 2 ago. I saw everyone on social media being like, buy ashwagandha, it's a steroid, it gets you huge, it gets you jacked, it raises your testosterone, oh my god. Or even worse, I see other TikToks of people, it's like, oh, when you're on ashwagandha, and it's just like, it killed my mood, I feel nothing, I'm Batman, I'm a Sigma male. It doesn't really do those 2 things. I mean, it kind of does. Allow me to explain. Ashwagandha just kind of works as a mood stabilizer. What it does is it lowers cortisol, and cortisol is your stress hormone. So it lowers stress and it just makes you feel better. It can help you have less anxiety and it helps sleep like that. It also indirectly boosts your testosterone because lower stress equals more testosterone. I can personally say ashwagandha has helped me a lot. I've noticed a big difference since I started taking it, and then I ran out for like 2 weeks and I felt my stress increase.
Just like every other supplement, use ashwagandha as a tool. After prolonged exposure to ashwagandha every day for like 6 months to a year, you can experience just a tiny bit of apathy. You won't go completely cold and emotionless, but your emotions will be at 70% opposed to 100%, and that goes for everything, not just stress. So even on your happiest days, you'll be 70% happy, not 100% happy. So please only supplement it when you truly are stressed for a prolonged period of time. While stress does cause a lot of negative side effects, at the end of the day, it's a hormone that we need. Anything in too little amount or too much amount is harmful.
I've also seen people claim that it can slow the growth of cancer cells, but that hasn't been proven in humans yet. So maybe in a monkey or like a rat. At the time of this video, research has not been completed. On top of ashwagandha, another thing you can do to lower your stress is by writing. Get a journal and either write about your day or literally write down everything you're anxious about. I was told by a doctor that this is like a self-induced panic time. This is when you go ham on the fucking journal, bro. You write all your problems, everything you're scared of, you just literally let it all out. And then after you're done, you can keep it in the journal. But you can also just grab the page, rip it out, and throw that shit in the trash can. You're literally grabbing your problems and throwing them away. You're like, this won't affect me until tomorrow. I gotta get some sleep so I can fix these problems. I know it sounds crazy, but straight up try it. It has helped me many times. When I'm anxious, I just write and throw that shit away. Of course, you've heard this one before. Exercise helps a lot with lowering your stress. When you exercise, endorphins get released, which are basically the feel-good hormone. And that's why there are some people who are just so addicted to exercise. Where it's like, oh dude, I gotta hit the weights again, because they're so addicted to getting those endorphins, baby. Now, when I say exercise, I'm not saying to become a bodybuilder. Don't become Ronnie Coleman, you know? You don't have to like lift weights 5 hours a day. No, I feel like a lot of people, when they're told to exercise, it's like, dude, I gotta just an hour of sprints. You know, they just gotta kill themselves. That's not true. Walk your dog. Any movement is exercise. Do something you enjoy. You enjoy dancing, go take a Zumba class. That's awesome. But if lifting weights is your thing, if you want to get jacked, then fucking get jacked, baby. Lift. Just move your body. The bodies are meant for movement. On top of relieving stress and anxiety, exercise will also make you feel more confident and accomplished at the end of your day. It may also make you a bit more tuckered out and ready for bed. It also wouldn't hurt at all to see a therapist. I know some people are embarrassed or even think that's like, oh, I don't need to see a therapist. I'm too self-aware. In its own, you need therapy for that because you believe you can't grow. I need therapy, you need therapy. there isn't anyone in the world who wouldn't benefit from a type of therapy. And if you've been to therapy before, like me, I've seen like 10 therapists in my life, and I hated like almost all of them. You just haven't found the right style of therapy for you. I hate online therapy. I hate doing it digital. I hate just classic sit in a room, lay down, tell me your problems therapy. They're great alternatives. One of my best friends has a therapist where she just straight up takes him out to the wilderness. It's like, yo, let's drive 40 minutes out. Let's go on a fucking hour-long hike in the woods, like a 2-hour-long hike. And they just be shooting the shit. They just be talking about problems like near a lake, and it's badass. Shit, I'm gonna try that because I feel like I would vibe very well with that. That's the type of shit I like. I like seeing nature. I'm a little hippie at heart, guys. A lot of insurance covers therapy. There are websites that show you what therapy your insurance covers. Look it up, research, find therapy. But if you're like me and you've done everything, and I mean everything I mentioned on this list, and you still can't sleep, then I'm sorry, my friend. You've reached stage 4 of insomnia. You've become a zombie. This is when you have done everything mentioned above and you still can't sleep. You wake up countless times during the night or can't even fall asleep. Every day becomes a living hell. Everything starts to mesh together. You are never really awake, but you're also never really asleep. I've been in the zombie stage a few times in my life, and I was in the zombie stage about a month ago. I was getting only 7 to 10 minutes of REM each night and almost no deep sleep. I was taking the equivalent of a 2-hour nap each night. I love to work out and be super active, but I had to put that all on the back burner. I was so tired I couldn't even enjoy life. I couldn't train because I didn't have the energy. I couldn't work on videos because it was too tasking. And I couldn't even play video games because it caused me to think too much and it genuinely exhausted me. Straight up, I'll turn on my PlayStation and just be like, oh, fuck, dude. And I couldn't watch TV. I couldn't watch movies. Like, guys, it was fucking bad. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Every night I would go to sleep and wake up 15 to 20 times, and I kid you not, there are multiple times I would just wake up and start crying because I'm like, why? Just let me go to sleep. I was prescribed 6 different medications, only 2 of them kind of worked, and even then, I didn't want to rely on medications for the rest of my life. This is what I did to regulate and fix it. I did everything mentioned above. I took ashwagandha every morning. I drank sleepy time tea each night. I took a hot shower right before bed. I stopped looking at blue light an hour before bed. I journaled before bed. I took 3 to 5 grams of glycine each night. I exercised every day. In addition to all that, I now take these mushroom wonder gummies. I also take GABA. GABA is the primary inhibitor neurotransmitter in the brain, and it is a major inhibitory neurotransmitter in the spinal cord. The insulin-producing beta cells of the pancreas produce GABA. Essentially, GABA functions to calm your nervous system and help your nerves process sensory input in an organized way. I also take L-theanine. L-theanine is an amino acid in green tea and has been shown to affect brain functions by relieving stress disorders, improving mood, and maintaining normal sleep. However, the cognitive functions for which theanine is effective are unclear. I also take 5 grams of creatine monohydrate each night, but that's not for sleep. That's for bodybuilding, baby. You know what I'm saying? It's to get jacked. But there are some research that implies that creatine can help you fix your sleep. But again, that's not fully supported. Anecdotally, I can say, yeah, I think it did. But, like I said, there could have been so many other factors to that. I heard magnesium also helps people sleep, but for me, whenever I take it, it makes me violently vomit and shit. We've tried everything I've said, especially in the last stage of taking GABA and L-theanine and all that shit, and you're still sleep deprived, seek medical help. It's not a bit. Call a doctor, call the police, call someone, go to a hospital. It's been me a couple times in life, and it's fucking hard, man. And I really feel for everyone out there struggling with sleep this much. Just so you all know, I'm not a doctor of any kind, and these stages of insomnia don't actually exist. There's no medical term for like stage 4 of insomnia, a walking zombie. No, that is shit I just made up for the video. This is just a guy who does research on how to lower cortisol and how to get better sleep. You know, this is all like shit you can find on the internet. Just know that like I'm no professional, okay? I didn't go to any fucking Harvard. Another reason I recommend seeing a therapist is because you could have an undiagnosed anxiety disorder. I have OCD, and that makes sleeping really hard sometimes because, like, when I was like 5, when I was really, really young, I would have these thoughts in my brain. It's like, dude, if I don't turn over 3 times, then I'm gonna my family's gonna explode, you know? Like, I had these little rituals I had to do at night, and it would keep me up. So maybe you have an anxiety disorder that's undiagnosed, maybe you have something like that, and that's a whole different topic, you know? Like, you have to tackle that in a completely different manner than just taking some supplements that'll help lower your cortisol and boost your serotonin. please check out another video so I don't die broken homeless. These are 2 bangers right here that I just uploaded. They didn't get as much attention as I wanted. I put a lot of hard work into them. So please check them out because I want to make this my career one day. But anyways, guys, that's about it. I'll see ya. Bye-bye.
Revoke your humanity. You're inhuman!